Colleagues, we begin our day. There will be a briefing of the spokesperson of ATO, Leonid Matyukhin. He'll be on Skype with us. But there are some problems with internet, so we'll try to connect with him now. Invite an acting speaker of the General Staff of Ukraine, Vladyslav Matyukhin. Good morning, dear colleagues. I'm happy to see you at this briefing. So I would like to inform you about the following. The first Deputy Minister of Ukraine, Ivan Ruslan, had a meeting with the Deputy Minister of National Defense of Poland on issues of defense, Robert Kupecki. During the negotiations, he underlined that militants cynically undermine the ceasefire since 19th of December, according to Minsk agreements, and also that Russia uses the ceasefire to bring more mercenaries and to create terrorist organizations and with a system of management, training and support, which is common for military forces. For armed forces, during the main tools of how to fight the aggressor, they named we need to provide objective and true information about the situation in Ukraine, and also we should have consultations and dialogues. Also, the parties discussed the issue of creation of Lithuanian-Polish-Ukrainian brigade. Ukraine is interested to speed up the creation of such a brigade and to achieve complete operational readiness through participation in events, joint events, to train staffs and also to train the personnel. At the same time, Ministry of Defense is ready to cooperate with Poland on military issues. Priorities of bilateral military technical cooperation for armed forces of Ukraine include modernization, an improvement of resource of aircrafts, ships, and anti-tanks equipment, and also scientific developments. Yesterday, headed by the Minister of Defense of Ukraine, there was a meeting on readiness to start the fourth partial mobilization. Among the participants, there were representatives of different structures of the Ministry of Defense and of General Staff of Armed Forces of Ukraine. Officers responsible for different activities and operational command, regional oblast, regional military committees, and other people who participate in the support and organizing the fourth wave of partial mobilization. To participate in events, they invited representatives from administration of the President of the Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine, National Security and Defense Council of Ukraine, and also MPs. During the meeting, they listened to leaders of military command and structural departments of the Ministry of Defense and Armed Forces of Ukraine. As to readiness to run the partial mobilization, the participants discussed issues related to readiness of military committees, training centers, and general test fields to receive and to train new soldiers. Also, they discussed issues of medical examination, financial support, legal support, and information support of partial mobilization, and capabilities, and how to satisfy needs of our armed forces, and to develop and to improve the structure of the Ministry of Defense. And coming out of requirements of this time, the Minister of Defense, Colonel General Stepan Poltorak, signed a decree, an order about the reformation of the Ministry of Defense. It approves a new structure of the staff of the apparatus of the Ministry of Defense, and also subordination of different structures in the Ministry of Defense, and distribution of functions and tasks between structural departments of the Ministry of Defense, and also of powers and duties of leaders. The number of 190 will be less, 199. They will reform close 6 and reform 11 departments. And economic departments of the Ministry of Defense, on that basis, they will create a holding company which shall run all the state enterprises of the Ministry of Defense. And to be finished, this work is to be finished by April 30. Now, candidates have 4 positions in the staff of the Ministry of Defense and Armed Forces of Ukraine. They go through the procedure of checking on polygraph, and candidates are tested by special commissions. Introduction of new structures in the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine will allow to improve the most important directions of the Ministry of Defense, and including everything related to ATO. It will allow to improve the structure of the Ministry of Defense, and it will be like ministries suggested by the Cabinet of Ministers, and also it will be they will organize special structural departments in the Ministry of Defense and the General Staff of Armed Forces of Ukraine that will overlap their functions. Because of that, they will reduce the number of staff, and also they will reduce expenditures. Also, now in the Ministry of Defense, they work on promotion of experienced officers, participants of ATO, for leading positions in the Defense Agency and in Armed Forces of Ukraine. With that goal, in the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, they create a reserve of officers, participants of ATO, to be promoted to high positions. The reserve already includes 1,432 officers who did their task in ATO area, wounded. They received military ranks, and they were ordered by state orders. And so this list of reserve updated. It is later divided into groups of professions and positions, and it will be a table book for leaders of a military command on all the levels. In addition to that, according to the plan of activity of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine for 2015, up to the 1st of February, in the Ministry of Defense will create a reserve of candidates to promote higher. Nomenclature of appointment of the Minister of Defense to man positions in the Ministry of Defense and Armed Forces of Ukraine among military men. The status of participants of ATO was given to 4,500 military men of Armed Forces of Ukraine. 1,987 received state awards. They received also 1,181 was received orders and from General Staff Chief, and main 1,443 participants of ATO received military ranks earlier. This is the brief report about the work of the Ministry of Defense during the previous day. Now I give the floor to the officer of the press center of ATO, Captain second rank Leonid Matyukhin. He will inform me about the last events from in ATO area. Leonid, our greetings. My greetings to you. Let's try. Let's listen about the situation, inform us about the situation at ATO. Starting with from at 6 o'clock last night, terrorists 49 times shelled positions of ATO and villages and towns in Detania. The more often they were shelling upon Krymsky, Luhanshina, and 4 times using a Grad system and 2 times mortars. From Grad, they shelled 3 times Verkhovka, Nizhny, Trehizbinka, Stanica Luhanska, Donetsky, Aivku, Pervomaisky, and Pisky. Near Shastia, there was a tank. Mortars, granite launchers, and artillery, they were shelling upon Stanica Luhanska, Sanjarivka, Mironivsky, 2 times on Smil and Novhorodsk. Also, they shelled upon our positions near Shchestia, Trokhizbinka, Marinka, Krasnohorivka, Tonenka, and many other villages and towns during that. They shelled 102 times upon positions of ATO and on residential areas. The most active other more pressed down. There were 10 shelling upon towns and villages. Terrorists continue use the policy of burnt land. For them, the most important is to destroy infrastructure and to kill people. In near Donetsk airport, they continue to shell upon the positions of Ukrainian Armed Forces near Piske, Avdiivka, and Tonenka. Our artillery every time presses down the fire points of militants as soon as they start the activity. Facilities that were liberated by armed forces and now they are now under the control of our military men. Leonid, thank you very much. Colleagues, is there any question? Leonid, I will address a question from a German journalist, and she is from Die Welt. She asks the following. Is it necessary to defend the Donetsk airport? Why is it a strategic facility? Ukrainian military men who are for months there. Why are they there? You see, this is not a question I can deal with. I can answer, but there are not only strategic, but also for Donetsk airport, it became it's a symbol. It's like a Stalingrad in World War II, and we don't know about also strategic plans of the command. That's why if we don't stop the enemy, they will not stop on their own. The situation at present in Donetsk airport. What is the situation there? We know that yesterday the militants they exploded the second floor. What is happening there now? How many wounded? Do you have that information? After that. After that explosion, our military men are still there. Information about this situation now is classified. Any other question? No question. Thank you very much. Take care. Speak to you tomorrow. Colleagues, thank you very much. Our next briefing will be at 12 o'clock, and it will be about biometric passports. And tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock we will again have the briefings from Ministry of Defense and from ATO spokesperson. Thank you.